So here we are again, Warband fans. And so I just had a nice comment, and the modding continues. I just had a nice comment on my YouTube channel about the music on some of my videos. Gentleman had stopped in, Curtis, and said the music on this mod is epic. And you guys have always commented on my music. What a lot of people don't know is when you come onto my stream, my live stream, and the music you're hearing, I'm not generally playing something right off of YouTube. I'm actually mixing and preparing all of my music days ahead of time. I mix all my music for my stream. I mix most of the music for my games and mods that I play. And so I just happen to be doing one right now. And so, like I said, I saw a nice comment about the music on one of my Sparta videos, and I just happened to be mixing some music, and so I thought I'd show you guys real quick. And so this is Wavepad Masters Edition, the entire suite is what I have. And so I have some tribal jungle music that I'm going to use for my Amazon playthrough. So before, let's see what it sounded like before. Let's get it all back to where it was. Okay, so now it's just a straight file. This is the straight cheesy royalty-free tribal jungle music, Inca King, and I believe it's by Brandon Fleischer, and it's royalty-free on YouTube. And I also have a jungle music file. You guys get the idea. Okay, so I peruse sound effects and things like that, okay? Copy, rock and roll, piece of cake, just copy that. If you guys are music mixers, this is old hat to you, but for a lot of my friends who've never done this sort of thing, you guys have reached out and said, how did you do that? And so I thought I'd share. So what we're going to do with Wavepad, and you can get a Wavepad free edition. In any event, this is the straight Inca flute music. There's no sound effects. All we're going to do is just mix the jungle sounds into our Inca flute music, which doesn't really have any jungle sounds. And I'm going to mix that at 25% of the original volume. So this is setting the jungle music sound effect volume level versus the tribal jungle music flute music. Okay, so I want the jungle sound effects of the monkeys and the birds and the ocelots, etc., and the llamas farting, etc., etc. I want those sounds to be a little bit toned down than the flute music. I don't want the jungle sounds to overpower the flute music. Okay, so we're just going to paste that mix. Piece of cake, so it covered the whole thing. We have a lot of leftover sounds back here. So that's the jungle sound. That's the low sound level that I set it at. Okay, I didn't want it really high. I'm not going to need all this extra sound. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's hear what it sounds like. See, so now I have some bird sounds in the background, and I also have the flute music. Now when you have here's a cheat for you. If you have a music file that is not royalty free that you'd like to use on your live stream, okay? The way I just put a layer, I put a sound effect, jungle sound effect layer on top of this flute music. Now if I layer that 2 or 3 more times with some kind of background whatever noise, usually I use sound effects. Usually it will get past filters and your non-royalty free music will not get muted. So people have asked me, how are you playing copyrighted music on your live streams? It's because I edit all my music and I layer it. Thickest Boy asked me about that as who it was, and I told him I layer my music. That's why it's not getting muted. And so you guys just saw how I layered that music. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding optimization. What I will do with all of the sound effects, all the sounds folder, the entire music folder and the entire sound effects folder in your modules folder for Warband. I will optimize all of those sounds for your sound effects, your waves, your OGs, and your MP3s. I will optimize all of them so that they are at, let's do another one, so that they are at 160. I usually put them at 160. If you guys want your high def sound on your surround system, rock and roll. And you got the juice, you got 16 gigs of RAM, I got 16 gigs of RAM. You can bump it up, you can batch convert all your folder. What I will do is I will batch convert my entire music folder. I will batch convert all my entire sound folder in my that's nested in my modules folder to the same bit rate. The same bit rate for all the sound effects, the same bit rate for all of your music files. Why? So that the software or your music player doesn't have to switch up bit rates while you're live streaming or playing your game. So when you're playing your game and you have a sound effect that say, 20 bit rate versus a sound effect that say 6,000, when it does that switch over to the next music file, it could cause a little glitch, a little lag in your game. Okay, but if you optimize all those sounds, you optimize all your music, optimize all your sound effects, so that all of those sound effects have the same kilohertz, the same bit rate, etc., they load much smoother and easier for your game, for your software. So that's what I will do, okay, to that. So in any event, you guys, I wanted to share that real quick. This tribal jungle music, this Inca Empire, I can already see that it's too loud. Okay, so we want to have consistent volume levels in all of our music. We want to have consistent volume levels in all of our sound effects so that you're not sitting there live streaming or playing your game on a Saturday morning, eating your Warlord donuts and having some Zug Zoints. So that you're not playing your game, you have one nice, smooth, chill sound, and then all of a sudden you get blasted by some epic sound, all right? And then you have to sit there and monkey with your volume. So what you want to do is have all your music files and all your sound files for your Warband game all at the same volume level so you don't have that blast. And so take my levels, amplify that. If we're not actually amplify it, we're going to cut it in half because I already see where it needs to be, and that's where it needs to be. How do I know that? I've done this a million times the last 10 years playing Warband. So now we're going to take our sound effects that are still on our clipboard, all right, and we are going to paste that mix just like we did in our last file. Piece cake, paste that mix. That's pretty loud, so let's do this up to 50. So the file, the jungle sounds, the birds and the monkeys and that, we're going to set the volume at 50% of its original volume, and then we're going to paste it and layer it right over this flute music. Okay, so this will be some of my in-game music. So now we got some birds and monkeys, some rainforest, and we have the flute music. Now, if this was copyrighted music, which it's not, okay, I would layer that 2 or 3 times. Some of the mods, some mod devs have reached out, and wondered, wanted me to stream their mod. Banner Page is a good example. I love Banner Page. Banner Page is an excellent vanilla Warband mod. It is the way that Warband should have been. One of the reasons that I don't stream that is because all the music in it's copyrighted and it's not modified or layered, so my whole stream gets muted. And so that's a mod that if I want to stream that live, I actually have to modify all the music. Replace all the music files. This here, I want to use this, so I'm going to cut it, right? Let's throw it at the beginning. Yep. Let's paste, 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 paste. Where are you? Rock and roll. Right there. Boom, boom. Let's fix that. You can see where there's going to be a hard break right there. We don't want it to sound like that. We don't want that break, so we'll just piece of cake. So in case you wondered what disabled people with multiple sclerosis who are addicted to Warband do all day, this is what we do all day. So fun, bitchin', right? Cool. So we'll save that. I'll probably put all mine at 160. I no longer have a 7-speaker Altec Lansing. Divorce, who needs furniture? Make a great t-shirt, wouldn't it? My ex-wife and I are friends. She's a good person. In any event, cool. So that's that. So how many more do we have to do? I've got like 1, don't need that one. We have like 3 more to do. So my friends, that is just a real quick 10-minute sound tutorial on how Warlord does his stream music and his game music. Simple stuff. So right on. So I'll be putting this music into the game to use for my game music and for my stream music. Right on. So in any event, you guys, you ever have any questions like that, I'll always do my best to help. Unfortunately, I can't be consistent these days. Be well, travel far, stay safe. See you soon.